So come to standing, lift the toes and just press them down. Just rock slightly backwards and forwards, slightly side to side. And then lift and roll the shoulders. And breathing in, turn the head to the left. When you're ready, come back to the centre. And breathing out, again when you're ready, turn the head to the right as little or as much as works for you. And then come back to the centre. Breathing in, lift and roll the left shoulder back. And then breathing in, lift and roll the right shoulder back. And breathing in, lift and roll both shoulders back. Clasp the hands behind you, aim the knuckles to the floor, and just open the chest. And then very gently turn slightly to the left. Come back to the centre. You can lift the arms slightly away from your bottom, but only if that works. And then very gently turn to the right. Come back to the centre. Release the hands. And then just bring the fingertips to the collarbone. And breathing in, just open the hands outwards. Breathing out, bring the hands back to the collarbones. Breathing in your own time. And then just drop the hands. Breathing in, raise the right hand up, stretch up, and then breathing out, lower the right hand. And then breathing in, raise the left hand, stretch up, and breathing out, lower the left hand. Breathing in, raise both hands. Join the thumbs, stretch, and just very gently, slightly go from side to side. And then come to the centre. Bend the elbows and just hold either the elbows or somewhere along the forearms. And just again, just slightly go from side to side. And then come to the centre, and then lower the arms. Lift and roll the shoulders. Bring the fingertips to the collarbone, and just circle the elbows forward. If they meet, wonderful. If they don't meet, don't worry about it. Very gently roll in the opposite direction. And then just release the hands. Just circle the wrists up and circle the wrists down. And again, circle the wrists up. And circle the wrists down. Come to stand on one foot and lift the other foot. Bring the other foot out slightly. And just circle your ankle in one direction. And then circle the ankle in the other direction. And then very gently place that foot down. And just slightly sway from side to side. And then come to stand to the centre. Lift the other heel, keeping your toes on the ground. And then just circle the ankle in one direction. And then circle the ankle in the other direction. And just come to standing again. Bring the hands to the heart centre. And breathing in, just open the hands outwards. Curl the hands in. Hopefully you make sense of that. Bring the hands to fingers touch. And then open the hands, little fingers and thumbs touch to lotus mudra. Focus at the heart. We're coming into the heart season for this time of year, and then bring the hands back to the heart. Breathing in, opening the hands out, and then just roll the wrists, come back to fingertips together, and then bend the fingers, opening to your lotus mudra, and bringing back to the heart. And then one last time, open the hands out, rolling the wrists in, bending the fingers, heart mudra, bringing the hands back to the heart, and then just releasing the hands back down again. Place the hands on the waist, lift up the chest, and then just very gently turn to look over your left shoulder. Doesn't matter if you've gone the other way. And then come back to the centre and just very gently turn to look over the right shoulder. And then coming back to the centre. Just soften the knees, bottom slightly away, and that's your abdominal control. Your abdominal muscles will engage, and then breathing in, just come to standing upright. And then just lowering the hands. Hands together at the heart centre, and then breathe back. We're going to come down to the earth, coming to a line on our backs, taking time. Does anybody want any support before I get down? My head, knees at all, anything? Okay, so coming to knees, bent feet on the ground, knees hip width apart. Palms down alongside you. Just take a breath or two to orientate to where you are on the mat. And just giving the weight of the head to the ground, let the head turn slightly to one direction. It doesn't matter which. And then when you're ready, bring the head back to the centre and let it very gently turn to the opposite direction. And then bringing the head back to the centre. And then just very gently, perhaps walk your feet towards the edge of the mat. And let both knees drift to the right so that your left hip lifts slightly off the ground. And then breathing in, bring the legs and the knees and the head back to the centre. As you very, very gently just let both knees drift over to the left and your right hip will lift. And then bringing the knees back to the centre and just a few times to either side in your own breath pattern. the weight of the body rests on the ground, and so there's a massage across the base of the spine, top of the bottom. And come back to the centre of the knees. Maybe bring the feet in a little bit to hip width apart. Palms down and just a few pelvic tilts. Pulsing the back in a slightly different direction, an up and down direction. And then very gently hug the left knee into the chest. So you can choose to keep your right knee bent, or if you want a greater stretch, you can let your right leg stretch out along the ground. And very gently begin to circle the left knee while you're holding it in one direction. And your circles can be tiny or they can be slightly larger, and within your choice. And then circle the left knee in the opposite direction. And then dropping your hands underneath your left thigh, begin to raise your left leg up to the ceiling. You always have the option to keep your knee slightly bent. And your right leg can either be extended along the mat or your right knee can be bent, foot on the mat. Extend the left heel and then point the left toes in the opposite direction. A few times in your own breath pattern. And then begin to circle the ankle a few times in one direction. And then circle the ankle a few times in the opposite direction. And then hug the left knee into the chest once more. Just enjoying in and an out breath. And then very gently place the left foot on the ground. A couple of pelvic tilts. And then come to hug your right knee into your chest. Your left knee can be bent, or it can be your left leg can be extended along the mat. And just enjoy hugging the right knee into the chest. And then very gently begin to circle the right knee a few times in one direction. And then circle the knee a few times in the opposite direction. And then dropping the hands behind the right thigh, begin to extend the right leg to the ceiling. When you're there, extend the left heel and point the toe, the right heel and point the toes, a few times. You might want to circle your ankle in one direction and then the other. And then very gently bend the right knee, hug the right knee into the chest. Keep the right knee hugged into the chest and let the left knee join it. Your knees can open wider a little bit if that suits you. Just be comfortable. And just very gently rock from side to side. And then hugging both knees into the chest. As you breathe in, raise your left leg and extend your left arm up and behind you. And then breathing out, hug the left knee into the chest. And when you're ready, in your own time, extend your right leg up to the ceiling and extend your right arm behind you. Your chin tucks into your chest. And when you're ready, breathing out, hug the right knee in to the chest. And then repeat that to each side in your own time, in your own pattern. And then hugging both knees into the chest. Still hold the knees as you let both knees drift away to arm's length. And just do that a few times to your own breath pattern. And then holding underneath your thighs, bring both feet to the ground and your feet are together. Hands are palms down alongside you. Open your left knee to the ground and out to the left, so it's almost like a clam. And then let the right knee join as you lift your hip off the ground, your right knee, so you roll to the left, the right knee joins. And then bring your right knee up to the centre, up to the ceiling. Both knees are open. And then start to roll to your right, as your right knee rolls to the right, your left knee comes up, and then roll to the right. Your hands are on the ground supporting you. Breathing in, raise your left leg, both knees are open. And then as you roll to the left, your right knee follows, so that the right and left knees are vaguely facing in the same direction. Your right hip's off the ground. And just do this almost opening and closing a few times to each side. This featured in some training I did with an osteopath who was also a yoga teacher. So good for the lower back, good for the hips. And then in your own time, think about finishing your sequence and bringing both knees back up to the centre. Keep your right foot where it is. Hug your left knee into your chest. Open your left knee to the left and place your left ankle on top of your right thigh, palms down. And just very gently sway both knees from side to side, and your hip might lift. You might find also that the back of the head starts to move from side to side. So again, we're looking at hip health here, the piriformis muscle on the outside of the hip connecting to the top of the leg on the outside. And then just very gently hug the left knee into the chest. And just very gently set the left foot onto the ground, supporting your left leg if it needs support. And then come to focus on your right side, hugging your right knee into the chest. Opening the right knee to the right, placing the right ankle on top of the left thigh. Palms down. As you very gently sway the knees from side to side, your hips can lift. Again, the piriformis on the right side, but also you're opening the lower groin, so it's part of the lymphatic opening, giving space for lymph flow at the lower level. And then hugging the right knee into the chest. Placing the right foot on the floor. And then placing the hands on the abdomen and taking a few breaths in your own breath pattern, breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the mouth. And then very gently let the breath go and roll to one side. So if you've got space, you would roll to the right, which is more restful for the heart. But really, we're going to come up to a seated position. So take your time to roll to the right. Maybe stay on the right side, just to orientate the body. No rush. Come up gradually. And then come to have your legs in front of you. And come to flesh out from under the bottom. Toes up and then toes away a couple of times. And then begin to circle the ankles in one direction. and then circle the ankles in the opposite direction. And then this very familiar either tapping or brushing or doing whatever you want to do to your legs, to your arms if you want to your back, just waking up the circulation. And then just come to, when you're ready, place your hands back down alongside you and cross, let's say, your left ankle over your right. Sit up. Raise your right hand and look up if you're able to, depending on your head movement, your neck movement, to your thumb. And then tummy in slightly as you bring the right hand across the body to the outside of your left side. You can have your palm down, you can have your palm open, just choose what's comfortable. You can even hold your leg. Your left hand goes behind you, and as you breathe in, sit up. And breathing out, turn to look over your left shoulder. Bring your head back to the centre and then turn slightly to look over your right shoulder. And then bring the head to turn and look back over your left shoulder. Bring the head back to the centre. Bring your right hand up and down. Uncross your ankles. And then just sway or swish your ankles from side to side. And then you can support your left leg if you want to cross your left ankle over your right. Just touch your fingers to the ground. And breathing in, raise your left arm up. Bring it across the body like you did the other side. Right hand goes behind you. And then breathing in, you sit up, lift up. Breathing out, turn to look over your right shoulder. When you're ready, turn back to look over your left shoulder. And then gently turn to look back over your right shoulder. Bring the head back to the centre, raise your right arm, just come back to hands to either side of you, uncross your left ankle. And then just bounce your knees again. If you want another rub or pat, that's fine. And then coming to, if your knees are uncomfortable, then stay with your legs out. We're going to come otherwise to a cross-legged position. In fact, you can always sit with your back against the wall too if you need support. But we didn't do cat-cow on our hands and knees as a nod to not coming forward particularly. So we're going to do it now. Hands somewhere on the knees or on the shins. Breathing in and then breathing out round the back, but only come as forward as you feel you need to. If you don't want to bring your head forward, then don't. And just a few times in your own breath pattern, breathing in as you sit up and breathing out as you round chin to chest. And just carry on a few times. So there are many ways to do a pose. And this would be the equivalent of cat-cow. It's a seated cat-cow. It's also quite nice to do if you're sitting at a desk. You've always got the option to sit on the floor, to lie on the floor, or to be on your hands and knees. So the chin to chest connects into the vagus nerve, so it's calming the nervous system, anti-inflammatory. This connects very much to the base chakra. And then come to back to normal. And then just begin to circle in one direction. So you might find that you subtly round your back as you breathe out and subtly breathe in as you lift up. So this now relates to the second chakra. The sacral, connecting to the element of water and the emotions in balance of joy and out of balance can be fear. And when you're ready, just circle round in the opposite direction. And then come to the centre. Just extend your left fingers to the left, tummy in, and bend your right elbow, just coming over to the left. You can straighten your arm if you want to, you can look down or you can look straight ahead. You can bounce in and out slightly. Tummy in as you press your left hand to the ground to allow you to come upright and then lower the right hand. And then just very, very gently slide the right hand to the right. Raise the left elbow, chin to chest. You can either look down or look straight ahead, and you can bend slightly in and out. Tummy in, press the right hand down to support you to come up. And then sitting up, you come to the third chakra. Bring the left hand to the right knee, right hand behind. Breathing in, turn to the fit of your right shoulder. Keep your left hand where it is. Raise your right hand and then hold your left knee with your right hand. And just slightly sway from side to side. You can stay more upright. If you wanted to come slightly forward, again, there's an option as to how much you engage with your head. And then tummy in to come to upright, hands to either side of you. Come to turn to the left. I've got the right position, right hand on the left knee. And then raise the left hand, circle it, come to hold the right knee, crossing your hands. Just slightly sway from side to side. Your head can be down slightly or slightly up, you choose. And then tummy in as you just uncross and come back to the centre. And then we move to the heart centre. And this time, as you breathe in, hands out, hands back. You can chin to chest as an option. And breathing in, hands out to the side. And breathing out, chin to chest. Breathing in, hands forward. Back. Hands out. And chin to chest. Only if that works for you. A couple of times, 2 or 3 times in your own breath pattern. and make the next one the last one. And then just come to think of the throat and just bring the hands up to the throat, just massaging one hand and then the other at the throat area. You have your hands across the throat. Maybe think of the colour blue, because that's the colour associated with the throat. I think the Egyptians, do feel free to say something, used to wear scarabs, did they? They blue at the heart? They used to wear light blue for protection. And you can just use your fingers to massage your jaw. And then just bring your hands to the third eye. Doesn't matter which hand. Just very, very gently stroke across the forehead in the same direction. Which direction it doesn't matter, and which hand it doesn't matter, but just stroke across the third eye. So that's connecting into our intuition, our centre of knowledge, and I think a practical level, pineal and pituitary glands. Just let that go. And then the crown chakra, of course, has things like headstands and all those delightful things. But to connect to the crown chakra in a much easier way, just hold the hands at the top of the head, almost cradling your head in your hands. And just very, very gently, slightly sway from side to side. Just very gently let the hands slide down. Just hold your hands over your ears. Become aware of your inner world. And then just release the hands and come to lying to relax for a few minutes, a few breaths. Lie however's comfortable, so classically it would be Shavasana. But you can have your knees bent and you can have your knees touching as well in constructive rest. So find somewhere that's comfortable for you. And take a moment to have a thought for the day. Your sankalpa, it's setting your intention. And it can be very simple for yourself or for someone close to you. And just have that thought a couple of times. And then let that thought go. And know that the intention for the day has been set. And then bring your attention to your feet. The right foot and the left foot, and both feet together. In your mind, relax your toes, big toes, second, third, fourth, and little toes, and the space beyond the toes. Relax your ankles, your shins and calves, knees, thighs, back of the thighs, and the hips. connecting to the ground. Relax the lower abdomen, stomach, upper abdomen, the chest, heart, collarbones, opening at the shoulders, and the arms, left arm and right arm, the tops of the arms, elbows, inside the elbows and the backs of the elbows, and forearms, down to the wrists, the hands, the backs of the hands, the palms, the fingers, thumbs, second fingers, third, fourth, little fingers, and the space beyond the fingers. Bring your attention to the base of the spine and follow the spine up vertebra by vertebra through the lower back to the mid back, between the shoulder blades, up to the back of the neck, back of the head, the ears, the space between the ears, to the top of the head, and across the top of the head to the forehead, dropping down to the eyebrows, smoothing across the eyebrows, and to the eyes. Let the eyes relax. And then just following down to the cheekbones, and along the jawline, to the chin, and then down once more to the throat. Come from the throat back to the chin, the lower lip, upper lip, teeth, tongue. And settle the attention at the base of the nose. Imagine breathing in through the left nostril, the left side of the body, to the top of the head, and then breathing out only through the right side, the right nose, the right side of the body. And now breathe in through the right side of the body, to the top of the head, and breathe out through the left side. Starting again, breathing in through the left, out through the right. In through the right, and out through the left. And just a couple more breaths in your own breath time. And then just let the breath drift away. Connect once more to your sankalpa. Repeat that to yourself, resetting your intention. And then just imagine that you're looking at yourself in a mirror, where all the parts of the body are connecting to the earth. And begin in your own time to Be aware of where you are, the sounds inside and outside. And then begin to make any movements that you feel you want to make, whether it's wiggling your toes or moving side to side, hugging the knees into the chest maybe. And take your time to hug the knees into the chest and roll gently and in your own time to the side to come up to a seated position. When you're ready. Come once more to bring the hands to the heart. Open your hands outwards. Circle the wrists. Bring the fingers together. Bend the fingers. Connect the thumbs and the little fingers to open to the lotus mudra. And then bring the hands once more to the heart. Slightly bow chin to the chest. And then take the hands to the brow. Kind thoughts, to the lips, kind words, and to the heart, kind deeds.